Welcome to Mercenary Media. Stop chewing on your crayons, recruits, and pay attention. Out here, we deal in stories carved from steel, smoke, and battlefield scars. Tales of bounty hunters, ghosts from the Black Ops shadows, lost cities, and the monsters that walk between neon and ash. If you're here for something soft, you took a wrong turn. But if you want high-intensity storytelling, tactical world-building, and characters who survive on grit, instinct, and bad decisions, then fall in line. And one more thing. These videos may contain graphic descriptions of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Now tighten your gear, square your stance. This transmission is live. The foundry compound breathes like a wounded animal beneath me. Every groan of the metal, every hiss of steam, every clatter of a distant tool echoes through the hollow steel ribs of the old industrial titan. This place once melted ore for Avalon's machines. Now it melts down desperation and spits out illegal weapons like glowing teeth. And I'm crouched above it all, balanced on a rust-crusted catwalk, knees bent, eyes narrow, breathing shallow, watching the chaos below unfold through haze and heat. The foundry is unrecognizable now. What used to be clean, predictable industrial lines are buried beneath repurposed armor plating, welded braces, barricades, scaffolds, and improvised guard towers anchored to beams that were never meant to hold them. Lights hang from extension cables stolen from power stations. Flood lamps swing, shadows pulse. The whole place shakes gently from the humming generators stacked 3 stories down. Illegal weapons lie everywhere in half-open containers, modified rifles, smart grenades, rail pistols, and crates marked with military insignia that should have been impossible for smugglers to obtain. Someone has deep pockets and deeper connections. And in the center of this steel hive sits a command cage, a huge welded crate retrofitted into a fortified office. Inside it, Dalen Core, arms trafficker, primary bounty. A man worth enough credits to keep me breathing for another half-year, maybe more, depending on market flux. He paces in tight circles, biting the nail of his thumb, glancing at monitors, then pacing again, like being still scares him more than capture. He spits curses at workers hauling crates. He shouts into a comlink that nobody seems to respond to. He's unraveling. Good. Makes him easier to catch. But I'm not here for him today. Today is Core's day. I lean deeper into shadow and study the patrol rotations. 10 guards on lower level, 4 on mid-walkway. 2 near generator banks, 3 perched on upper scaffolds with rifles equipped with old military optics. Someone invested in training them. Their formations are clean, efficient, too good for normal smugglers. Core must have pissed off the wrong people if he needed soldiers instead of criminals. I stay perfectly still as a spotlight beam sweeps the upper catwalk. The beam pauses only inches from my boots before sliding away. My heartbeat slows again. I move 2 steps to my left, silent, slow, watching guard patterns tighten around Core's cage. They're expecting trouble. Maybe from rival smugglers, maybe from corporate agents, maybe from me. They don't know which fear is closest. I descend the ladder. Each rung squeals faintly. Rust flakes off, drifting like dead skin through the air. I stop midway when a guard beneath me passes directly under me. He's tapping on a comms device, muttering about scheduled inventory delays. His flashlight sweeps my ladder. I freeze, hugging myself into the metal. The beam lingers, then moves on.
I inch down slowly until my boots find the service platform, the halfway point between the catwalks and the factory floor. This area is a graveyard of old machinery, broken conveyor rollers, rusted tools fused to the metal floor, detached pipes sprawled across the walkway. These are sound traps. One wrong step and the entire floor will sing. I crouch low, move slow, breathe even. Below me, Core is arguing with someone outside the cage. I hear pieces of it over the hum of machinery. I told you the schedule was tight. I said fault was clean. If this doesn't leave tonight, we're dead. Hail. Vault. Shipment. Good intel. I file it away.
But before I can drop down, the upper floodlight rotates sharply. I duck behind an old tool rack as the light blazes across the platform. The heat singes the edge of my sleeve. Once it moves on, I crawl along the platform to the chain that hangs from the ceiling. It's the fastest way down, and the most dangerous. I grab the chain. Exhale. Jump. Gravity drops me for half a second. Then the chain swings. Someone shouts below, "Hold up! Did you see?" A guard points upward. Another raises his rifle. I freeze, mid-swing. The chain oscillates. Tension builds. Seconds crawl. Two guards stare upward into shadow. One squints. He steps back. Nah, just the vents rattling again. They lower their rifles. I release the chain and drop onto a pile of scrap metal, rolling off it into cover behind a stacked container. My boots make only a whisper when I land. The air here is thick with chemical dust. Every breath tastes like battery acid. I inch forward, keeping the crates between me and the patrolman. Core's cage is 30 feet ahead. One guard outside, two above on the mezzanine, one roaming. The guard at the cage leans against the bars with a bored slump. Easy target. I scan the ground. A small metal washer sits near my boot. Perfect. I flick it into a bundle of scrap pipes to the guard's left. The sound is tiny, but in silence, it's thunder. The guard straightens, steps toward the noise, raises his weapon. I move instantly, one arm around his throat, one hand clamped over his mouth, and I pull him into shadow. He struggles briefly, knees buckle, out cold. I drag him behind a crate and strip his access key. The lock on Core's cage clicks open. He spins, eyes wide, mouth open. He tries to scream. I slam him against the wall, forearm pinning his throat. Dallin Core, a live capture. He gasps air. You don't know what you're doing. Hale, he's not on your side. He's... I cut him off by tightening the restraints around his wrists. Hale's not my problem today. You are. I pull him out of the cage, and that's when the entire compound lights up like a festival. Floodlights burn into my eyes. An amplified voice booms from the upper catwalk. Mercer! Hale. My blood chills. He stands above us, calm as a sniper, watching me with expressionless confidence. You should have stayed topside, he says. Then he lifts his hand. Every guard opens fire. Bullets shred the steel around me. Sparks explode. Core screams so loud it almost masks the gunfire. I dive behind a heavy crate, shove Core down behind it, and peek over the edge to assess. 10 guards, 4 above, 2 at the smelter, all of them firing. Perfectly coordinated. This wasn't just Hale triggering an alarm, this was Hale commanding an army. I fire back, controlled shots, meant to suppress, not kill. They duck and reposition. They're trained well enough to avoid sloppy mistakes. Core yells, "We're going to die!" Not if you shut up. A spotlight blinds me.
A gunner unloads an entire burst into the crate I hide behind. I duck left and fire a shot upward, not at the gunner, but at the spotlight. The bulb explodes in a shower of sparks. "Move!" I bark. We sprint towards the machinery corridor, Core stumbling beside me. Bullets scream past us, pinging off the ground, ricocheting off metal beams. Core's shoulder grazes a beam. He stumbles and collapses. I drag him upright. "Move your feet unless you want to crawl out of here." He coughs. "My leg! My leg!" "It'll work when you need it." We reach the corridor just as the enforcer steps into view. Big, armored, helmeted, carrying a crackling riot baton. His visor glows with a sick yellow hue. He charges. I shove Core aside and brace for impact. The enforcer swings the baton, I block with my forearm, pain erupting up into my shoulder. The impact sends sparks flying off the metal beam beside me. He grabs my throat, slams me into the wall hard enough to rattle my teeth. My breath cuts out. I claw at his wrist, jam my knee into his ribs once, twice, feel something give. He snarls and swings again. I duck under it, grab his belt, yank him forward, and he slams into the wall. I rip the baton from his grip and crack it over his helmet. Once, twice, he drops. Breathing ragged, I drag Core by the collar. He shakes uncontrollably. "How are you still alive?" I mutter, "Because I have to be." Guards flood the walkway behind us. Gunfire rips into the corridor walls. Steam bursts from a ruptured pipe overhead. The fog fills the passage. Good cover. I say, "Run." Core whimpers but obeys. We sprint down the corridor until we reach the maintenance trolley, a rusted cart used to move heavy parts. A lucky malfunction left it unlocked and primed. I throw Core onto it, slam the release valve, and the trolley rockets forward. He screams like a toddler tossed off a cliff. Gunfire flares behind us as I run alongside the trolley, leap onto it, and shield him with my body as the rail carries us forward. We burst out of the corridor into the open street where the trolley crashes into coolant barrels. They explode in a spray of freezing mist. We roll across gravel and scrap, coughing. Core lies on his back, panting like a dying animal. Is it over?" I yank him upright. "No, you're still breathing." We walk. 1 hour across broken stone, through abandoned work yards, under dead neon signs and rusted catwalks. No transport, no rest, just the long walk through Avalon's industrial skeleton. We reach the bounty kiosk, a metal box embedded into a concrete wall, humming with outdated circuitry. The clerk leans on her counter, unimpressed. "Target?" I shove Core forward. The scanner lights up green. Dalin Core, alive, verified. She taps a few keys. The screen flashes, payment transferred. Primary bounty complete. Core begs for mercy as they haul him away. The clerk yawns. "You know that Hale guy carries an L7 high priority mark now, right? That's the highest there is. Means he's one of the most dangerous people on record." "I know," I say. "You're going after him?" "Yes." She chuckles. "All right then, try not to die." I step into the smog-filled night. One bounty down. One L7 ghost still breathing. Tomorrow, I hunt him.
All right, recruits, that's the end of this operation. If you made it this far, congratulations. Most don't. But your mission isn't over yet. As part of your civic duty, and to keep this outfit running, you will now hit the like button. Not later, not when you remember, now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, well, that's desertion. Lock it in, subscribe, and stay in formation so you don't miss the next deployment. This is Mercenary Media, where stories bleed, shadows move, and legends are forged in fire and neon. Dismissed.